So you're on the couch feeling that post-New Year's burn of staying up past your usual 9:30 p.m. bedtime. Okay, 10 p.m., but let's be real, it's like 9:30. Slumped on the couch, you find yourself scrolling through Pinterest, searching for those New Year, New You DIY projects to get you motivated for 2022. When you find it, suddenly your heart starts racing, your motivation starts rising, and you think to yourself, I gotta make that. That's when you realize you've cocooned yourself into blankets, weighing you down as if 1,000 years of hangover is holding you back. Suddenly, your ghost of New Year's past, still chilling on the couch, asks, Yo, are you sure you don't want to just stay on this couch and chill? And you turn your head back in deep determination. Nah, Pinterest made me do it. Respect. Isn't there The Witcher to watch? Happy New Year, my DIY friends! Welcome back to my channel. I'm Danie, and today we are doing another episode of Pinterest Made Me Do It, a series where I find very pitiable things that I love on Pinterest and say to myself, I gotta make that, and I gotta make that today. And I figured there's no better way to start this year than with a Pinterest Made Me Do It, because it just gets my creative energies flowing. That is what this series celebrates, and I definitely got a project for us. It is a bench. I know we've built a lot of benches on this channel, but it's a really cool bench. It is the best of the benches, so I'm excited to share it. Friends, I am so excited for 2022 because I feel like we're gonna have so much fun on this channel. Last year, my goal was to really embrace my creative beast side, really let that out, and I think I got there a little bit, but I don't think I really celebrated the creative beast in me, which means celebrating my nerdy side, and I really feel like I want to lean into that this year. But I always feel like there's a line between kitschy and like acceptable home decor as an adult. So I want to explore that on this channel, and I think we're gonna do it with some DIYs this year, so I hope you're ready. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because we are going to be creating some really dope DIY projects this year, and you don't want to miss out. So with that said, let's get this episode started and let's get this year started. Editor, roll the tape. Boop. Gonna close this up now. For this Pinterest Made Me Do It, I saw this beautiful bench. Now, this wasn't just like any ordinary bench. This was this like lovely curved bench, and it came from a brand called The Future Kept. Look at this beautiful, moody photo, like my aesthetic to a T. Something about that bench, I was like, hot dog, I gotta make you, and I gotta make it right now. So we're gonna be making this bench today, but obviously I'm going off of a photo here. I have no idea how big this is. I don't know what the actual seat base looks like. So there's a lot of liberty to be taken on this project to kind of really make it my own. I've come up with a plan for how I'm going to make my version, and hopefully it's gonna work out. Probably gonna work out. There's like a 60% chance it'll work out.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Of course, when I come up with a random idea like this, it always starts with a really crappy sketch. The crappiest sketch I can possibly make on a piece of paper. And then from there, I took my sketch and I put it on another sheet of paper, which is a much better version, made all the sizes and decided how big I wanted it to be. But then I start thinking, where are the flaws in my design plan? Because sometimes I think, am I actually building this thing the best way that I possibly can? And if you are like me and you question all of these things, you can do what I do, and I built a whole 3D model. So now I have a complete 3D version of this table out of foam. This is what it's gonna be, guys. This is what my bench is gonna look like. Isn't this dope? As you guys know, I am a very visual person. Sometimes I just need to like see the actual project in front of me. If you're unsure of how to make something, or if you're unsure if something is going to work, make a 3D model out of it with cardboard, you can go with foam core like I did, and see if it's gonna work, because this will tell you whether or not your idea is sound. Now this is an actual 2-scale bench, so hopefully by the end of this I should be able to put this foam core version right beside my real version, and they should somewhat mirror each other.
That man's an imposter.
I'm very excited to use some pieces of maple. I've already gotten the maple, I've already planed it down. Now the base is going to be made out of plywood, because I was like, I'm going to be covering it. I'm going to be doing an upholstery situation, so the base didn't really matter to me. But the structure of this does. On the inside, I'm going to be creating 2 structural pieces here that the base is going to sit on. On top of that, we have 2 larger pieces. And in order for me to be able to create this piece here, I'm actually going to be making it in 3 sections. So I have one piece here, I'm going to have a middle section, and then I'm going to have another arm piece that shadows this. So this doesn't look like a very complicated build, but there are aspects of this bench that are going to create some complications. So there's certain areas where pocket holes are going to be easy to apply 2 pieces of wood together, and these are in the areas around this base area where I can hide things on the inside that no one's going to see. Anything up here on the sides that's decorative, this is all going to be doweled. So with that said, let's go build a bench. We're building bench. This bench project is being made with beautiful hardwood maple lumber that I planed down ahead of time. Now these boards were sourced from my local lumber house, but did come rough, mostly to save cost for me, so you'll notice the edges are not as neat, but some of these characteristics will be removed or embraced to give my bench some rustic personality. We have all our wood cut. That's so awesome. Actually, that didn't take as long as I thought it was going to take. There's a few pieces I didn't cut because I kind of want to wait until it's built to make sure that the measurements are all... Tomorrow, we're gonna start cutting the legs, and then we can start pocket holing and shaping this whole thing, and then we'll see what happens. So I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning, friends. It is definitely a coffee day, and it is cold. Come on, baby. Do your thing. I'm very nervous for today. I woke up feeling very ready to go, but there is this hesitation in my stomach. I can feel it because we're going to be cutting the legs, and the legs are the most important part. We're building this with wood, with lumber, and lumber can be sanded, molded, shaped. So there's a lot of room for error. As me and my patrons like to say, we call it creative enhancement, but I did take my morning to create the leg mold. Now, to cut this, in a dream world, I'd have a bandsaw, but I don't have that. So we're gonna use the jigsaw. It is what it is. I have a jigsaw. You guys at home probably have a jigsaw. So let's get jiggy with it and let's cut it out with the jigsaw. I don't know why I dropped that. Come back. Tracing my first leg out did take a bit of finessing, but I didn't want to rush this part as it was the most important feature on this bench. Once I was happy with the look, I bolded that line a little better so I could see it when cutting with my jig, then prep that board for surgery. Stop right now, thank you very much. I need some coffee with some human touch.
Hey, Viv, he's gonna eat me. Don't leave me here.
We want smooth cut, fast cut, reverse cut. We want a scroll cut. Let's try that. It is very dusty in here. We have our legs. All right. What we need to do next is I'm going to line these up to the best of my ability. I'm going to clamp these all together, and then we're going to take this over to the belt sander. We're going to just start shaping it out so that they all are beautifully parallel to each other. Some clamping and some sanding. Clamping and some sanding. Clamping and some sanding. And that's what we're going to do. everything is looking like primarily pretty close to each other. Like I wasn't worried about making it perfect. I just needed to know that they are relatively the same. Now what I need to do is just start creating pocket holes, and then the rest of the pieces are just gonna be doweled. So, cool. That camera is incredibly sideways. Wow. Okay, groovy, groovy, groovy. We have 2 legs over here. And what I'd like to do now is just start sanding them down, making them nice and smooth and like cohesive. And then we just assemble. So I think for the rest of this day, I'm just going to sand all the pieces down. Now we get to do all that stuff that nobody likes to do, and it's really not sexy to film either, but let's start sanding.
Moved on, turning the page. New spot, she's burning the sage. If he knocks, she'll turn him away. Said he's never begged, well he's learning today. That's it. Been living with less than a bit. Off a wish to make the wrong thing fit, but it's hard head stick and the stars don't mix and his heart don't tick like hers so quick when it fills up. Or when it's real, she a real one. Yeah, had a deal, now the deal's done. Time to get a feel for the apps, got a peel and a tattoo sick. Get jitters like a rookie again. Innocent, innocent, through the veteran lens, let him in. Inspect what the evidence is, give respect for the effort, let the betterment win.
That was a journey, a whole sanding journey. We now have 2 legs, and I think they turned out pretty good. Honestly, like, I mean, there's a little bit of, you know, there's some flaws in this. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's perfect, but I think overall these look great, and I'm excited. Tomorrow, I get to start putting this whole thing together. It's gonna be great. Ah, I love this. With that said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night. Hello, hello, it's a new day. We got bench things happening. Look at this, look at this. The thing that I'm worried about the most now is actually putting the bench together. Admittedly, it's quite late in the day because I've been kind of in this like fear of starting stage in my day. It's challenging, and like to make sure that this all goes well and like the measurements are right, it's on me. This is all on me, and that's like slightly terrifying. I don't know what I'm doing at this point. Let's build a bench. So after getting through my moment of self-doubt there, I did eventually start this day, first by measuring out where the cross pieces needed to be attached. Again, the challenge with this piece is that the legs are not square, so I had to draw in 90-degree square angles for me to work from so that it all lined up accordingly. We did a thing! We got 2 sides, we got 2 braces, and now we just need to add the rest. What does my drawing look like again? Now we need to add these pieces and these pieces. And to do that, we gotta dowel first. Never gonna be easy, is it? To dowel my upper and lower cross pieces, I was using these lovely 3/8-inch dowels. To make sure the dowel placement in the cross pieces translated properly to the actual bench, I created a little foam template that would dictate where the hole would go on the cross piece and the bench itself. This template, although not beautiful, worked perfectly in application. I used tape on my drill bit to help tell me my drill depth and adjusted my dowel length using my vise and handsaw. The dowels were just a wee bit too long, so chopping them down was no issue. Something happened, and now we have one side of this bench. I was looking at this thing, and I think in my original design, the pieces that were here were much thinner than these pieces. I don't think I need that extra piece. I think this will be fine. I think we're gonna be okay. I'm already freaking out if this is gonna work, so like, why do it to myself? Let's drill some more holes and see if they all line up. Once I was happy with my measurements on the second side, I added wood glue to the edges, lined up my dowel holes, and clamped both sides together. With the clamps in place, this just allowed me to set my bench up straight and screw in my pocket holes. After I reconfigured my entire she-shack again, I made sure my bench was level and added my decorative top bars. Now to do this, I just used some wood glue and my brad nailer to tack them into place. Guys, look at this!
Wow,
We're identical.
I think that looks really cool. I realize it's just a bench, but it means a lot more than just a bench, you know? But there is one last piece we need to make, which is the seat base. I have some maple plywood that I'm going to use to create the base. It's a 1/2 inch, which is perfect for fitting in this. It's like I planned it that way. So yeah, let's go cut some plywood. Okay, I need to see people soon or it's over for me. I mean, it's basically what I set out to make. And that to me is very exciting. Dream come true. Very excited for tomorrow. We're gonna upholster, we're gonna stain, and then we're gonna put this bad boy in a place that I wanted it to go. See you tomorrow, friends. Good morning. We have bench. Today we get to stain and we get to work on the bench top, which is exciting. I am going to use a wood conditioner, a pre-stain, only because this is a very porous type wood. I don't know if you've ever used a wood conditioner before, but it is very, very smelly. Wood conditioner for me is like, you know when you drink a lot of like screwdrivers in college and then the smell of vodka just like reminds you of puking and hangovers? That's how wood conditioner is for me. Like every time I smell it, I'm just reminded of this time where I used it and I was really ill. Like that smell just like literally turned my stomach and made me puke for half a day.
Why are you the way that you are?
So I am going to put on my mask for this so that I don't smell it. It's a me thing. It's truly a me thing. Let's start wood conditioning. While I waited for my stain to dry, I got started on my upholstered bench top. For the seat, I was using this beautiful black faux leather that I acquired during my 2 thrifted chair flips.
I'm back.
And to give the seat some comfort, I was using a 1-inch fiber foam. Now I started by attaching the foam to the bench seat using spray glue, then simply cut my leather to size, leaving about 2 inches of extra fabric on each side. I just worked my way around the board, tucking the corners to the best of my ability and tacking it down using my staple gun. I was making sure to pull the fabric really tight, and after that I trimmed away any excess and voila. Many, many hours later, I added the final step, which was the protective finish. For this, I was using a product called Walrus Furniture Butter, an oil and wax finish. Now this was given to me from my lovely friend Sam, the DIY Huntress, so I was excited to try this stuff out for myself. And like many wax finishes, it penetrates and seals your project, adding that extra durability and water protection to your piece. This stuff did need to sit for 24 hours and then buff away any excess. DIY friends, thank you so much for watching this. Pinterest made me do it. What do you think? Do you love this rustic bench and could you see it in your home? Let me know in the comment section below. What do you think? Honestly, I'm just so proud of myself because I've never really made something with curves in the way that this bench is made, and I think it looks beautiful. It's exactly my vision, and I think that's all we can ask for. I'm so glad I challenged myself to make something like this. It's not perfect, but it's a step in the right direction, and I think that's what's important here. I realized I didn't show you guys if it can actually hold a human body, and it can. I'm bouncing on this thing, and it is very sturdy. I am so proud of myself. I think it looks great. This is just such a big accomplishment for me to start off 2022, and I hope you guys challenge yourself too to do something outside the box, because starting the year off right and starting the year off with a big accomplishment like that will make you feel good. And let's just release that creative beast inside us. If you loved it, give it a big thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We got more feel-good projects coming coming your way and you don't want to miss out. And a big thank you to all of my patrons. You are amazing. I love you. Thank you for supporting me. And of course, we have another Try DIY challenge coming up soon. So if you are not a part of my Patreon, click the link in my description box. See if it's for you. Join our Creative Beast family, because I promise you will not regret it. As always, stay positive, stay creative, and keep on DIYing. Happy New Year! Woohoo! Bye-bye.